Hey, this is Steve Halleck of TickTocking. As always, you can find me at Steve Halleck on Instagram and at TickTocking.com for all my inventory and watch details. Today I have something really cool for you. This is from, I guess it would be fair to call them my favorite brand, Greubel Forsey. I mean, all else equal, they make the best watches in the world. Unfortunately, you really do have to pay for them, but really, it's worth it if you can swing it. And today I have their Balancier. It's the special limited edition made just for the United States with this really cool blued, like chrome blued dial. And man, it's just a beautiful watch. What I really love about this watch is it's something a little bit new from Greubel Forsey. Of course, we know them for the tourbillon mainly. They've done lots of iterations on tourbillons, singles, doubles, quadruples, different inclinations, different speeds, a lot of R&D on the tourbillon mechanism itself to sort of, bring it up to date in the modern wristwatch world. And while they've done this, they have stuck to the fact that they want to do everything at the absolute highest quality that can be done. And when I say highest quality, I mean highest quality. You can put this next to anything in the world, and I'm telling you, it will beat it. And I've seen anything. And yes, think in your mind what you can imagine as the best finish, the best anything watch. Greubel Forsey will beat it. Let that sink in for a second. Okay, so the Balancier, they did something pretty cool in that they took out the tourbillon basically, or all of their various kind of time-telling mechanisms, extra mechanisms to improve chronometry. And they said, well, what if we just use our know-how, our design language, our ability to make just a higher quality product than anybody else and reduced it to simplicity. And this is what you got. You got the Balancier, and then the Signature 1 is kind of another take on this idea, but it has the same basic innards. So this is kind of a competition for, let's say, a Dufour Simplicity, a Roger Smith Series 2, a Kari, this type of thing, but the Greubel Forsey twist on it. And I think you'll see that it stacks up pretty well against any of the others. Okay, so without further ado, I think we should just dive right into this, and I'm sure that you're gonna see what I'm talking about here. Let's go. All right, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I love to screw around with interesting straps, so forgive this choice here, although I think it does look pretty cool. The first thing you'll notice, of course, is just that this is a stunning watch. And this is the really cool thing about Greubel Forsey. They're making better watches than anybody else on earth in terms of kind of quality of materials and finish. And sometimes that can be a really esoteric pursuit, but their stuff is so good that you really don't have to be a watch expert to see it right off the bat. You can just look at this and see that pretty much nowhere else in the world do we see any sort of product that is made to this level of quality. And I really like that. I mean, it's one thing to pay a lot extra for finishing that we know exists and is cool, but when you're really paying, the difference of 98% good to 99% good is an exponential jump in difficulty and therefore in pricing. And I love that they do such a good job that you can actually see it. And of course, this is also well thought out. So they've really been able to figure out how to use their finishing techniques to and how to work that into their design to best show it off. So you have here black polish on this amazing bridge. You've got a sort of chromed and black polished blue hour and minute track here. Same on the hands are sort of beveled and amazingly polished. But here you've got this grain finish that is perfect with then these bevels here that are polished. And again, this seconds track and the power reserve are this matte, but with perfect markers, and then again juxtaposed with the grain and then the black polish of these screws, the gold chatons, even this, if you can see there, the jewel on this pinion. So this is all designed and planned to be their design aesthetic. Their design and their aesthetics are basically an organic extension of their finishing prowess. And I just think that's particularly cool. Now I wanted to show you this unwound first so you can see the balance wheel. This is an in-house balance wheel and is a patented creation that goes just into the Balancier and into the Signature One. And it's really, really large and stunning. And you'll see when it gets fired up, it just is the sort of center point of the watch. So let's give it a go here. The winding is butter smooth. This is your power reserve with this incredibly long and delicate hand on this concave black polished cap. Really, really nice touch. I love the different thicknesses of the hand. So you've got this long and thin. This one is a little bit thicker because it's got more of a purpose. And then you've got these hour and minute hands here with these sort of sword style markers. The watch is, as I said, sort of crafted to be in the vein of a Simplicity or a Series 2 Roger Smith. It's this idea of reduction to simplicity, but keeping this signature Greubel aesthetic. And I think they've been really successful in it. There's no extra nonsense here. In fact, you really don't even have much of a dial outside of this extra part, and yet it feels like a fully finished watch because, again, that finish is so good. But really, you've just got hours, minutes, and seconds, and you've got a power reserve, and you've got your hour markers and minute markers on this brilliant chromed blue surface here. So I kind of likened this to the Chronomet Blue on steroids. This is like the ultimate execution of what Journe was going for there. And if you love that watch, I would imagine that you like this one as well. Now this is the limited edition version for the United States market. There's only 11 of these made. The case is stainless steel. It's still got a pretty good heft to it. I think the movement is probably pretty heavy, but it's definitely lighter than the white gold version. And of course, this amazing blue is only in this version as well. So the back has this insane relief engraving. Now just imagine that this whole thing, which is kind of a special message to the owner, is engraved by cutting by hand around all of these letters perfectly. You know, the letters aren't down, it's what's around the letters that's engraved down. And it's just executed stunningly, and you've got these big gold chatons and jewels, and of course this main pinion bridge is screwed in here. But otherwise, everything really cool to see is on the front, which is the best place for it. You know, I remember back in the days when we would all drool about the datograph movement online, and everybody lamented that they couldn't wear the watch upside down. But now the watch brands have sort of realized this and realized, look, if we're going to do this amazing stuff, we may as well just put it all on the front. And here it is. So you're getting to see everything that you bought this watch for pretty much all the time when you wear it. The crown is a really nice size. It feels good to grab and hold. It's obviously knurled, and it just winds really, really nicely. 72 hours is kind of a good medium range power reserve, enough that you can wear it, put it down and wear your Rolex for a weekend, and then pick it up again on a Monday, and you're still good to go. So man, let me show you this watch on the wrist where it really shines. An interesting thing about this version in particular is that this blue outer track really makes the watch wear considerably smaller on the wrist. When you look down at it, you have kind of the optical illusion that the dial is much smaller because it's light in the middle and dark on the outside. And so this is the same size as the other version and as most other Greubel Forseys, but it does wear quite a bit smaller. And so if you are somebody who has looked at possibly owning a Greubel Forsey at some point, but wanted to go into a little bit more easily wearable piece, this is a really nice happy medium. And it also has this case bubble, although it's less pronounced, which is a feature that I really love on Greubels. I discussed it in my GMT video, but to me, it's very poetic in this idea of sort of a modern company busting out of the mold of a classic shape. So this is a classic round watch, and it's just kind of being bust out of. And of course, it gives you room for an extra large balance wheel. And there is a sapphire on the side, so you can watch the balance wheel spinning and see your escapement down there. So it's actually really cool and very, very well used on this model versus some of the others. So this is just a great watch. I mean, you could easily wear this every day. This, of course, is a weird strap, but it makes it totally appropriate for weekend wear. Before this, I had it on a blue rubber Greubel strap, and that kind of makes it sporty also. Or you could put it on a black Croc strap and wear it with a black or a blue or a gray or whatever suit, and it would be totally appropriate too. So I think it's incredibly versatile, and boy, if you were gonna go with only one watch, you could do a whole lot worse than it being a Greubel Forsey Balancier. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I enjoyed bringing it to you. I really don't want to take this watch off my wrist. Okay, see you later.